Necessarily those of the staff and management of Salem Media of Hawaii.
Aloha and welcome to Be Fit for Health. This is Biyanka, your host. It's another great day to celebrate our health and well-being. I just wanted to say thank you again for joining me on your Sunday, and hopefully you're having a great morning so far. So today we're going to be kicking off the celebration and the awareness of breast cancer awareness and any related to breast health. This is obviously not just for women, but also men have had breast cancer as well. So it may be a small percentage, but they're out there. And, we just need to get educated and, understand really what's out there, what's available for those patients who are diagnosed with breast cancer. And, what's the resources really? Because even though we're aware that this exists, we don't have all the information. And sometimes you just don't know where to go and who to talk to. Again, this show is about getting you the information that you need and also educating you on the options that you have. And I hope today's show helps you with that. So, I want to introduce to you my guest today. She's actually at the upper level with the Susan G Komen Foundation or organization. And, she's giving us her time to really give us some really good information. I'm really excited about today's show. Rolanda Morgan is the executive director of the Hawaii affiliated of Susan G Komen Hawaii, a nonprofit organization dedicated to saving lives and ending breast cancer forever. God, I really hope that does happen. Rolanda serves as the liaison to the general public, community organization, medical facilities, and breast health professionals throughout the state. She evaluates community breast health needs and facilitates community outreach utilizing Komen's multi-pronged approach to seeking better outcomes to realize our vision of a world without breast cancer. And Rolanda holds the senior level position and she actually ran her own fashion design consultancy in fashion industry prior to joining Komen. She's traveled the world, and the world has taught her the critical need for equal access to quality health care for all and to the cultural bias that can inhibit open and active participation in breast health. So as far as a breast cancer patient too, she's experienced the power of community and passionate commitment of volunteers to support healing and support when faced with breast cancer diagnoses. And I'm sure that's a very, very scary, to hear that you have it. I just want to say thank you so much, Rolanda, for coming on. Are you on currently? Did we get you?
I am here.
Oh,
Thank
yay.
you so much for inviting us to come and share with your listeners a bit about Susan G Komen Hawaii and what we do in the community to help support those who have had a diagnosis of breast cancer and are living with breast cancer.
Yeah,
so. Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's my pleasure and honor to have you here. Your organization is well respected and is known throughout the communities all over the U.S. as well. I'm sure, I don't know, all over the world. Maybe I'm hoping that it's getting out there further and further out there to help more and more people. But I thank you for coming on today. So I this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but it's all year.
Exactly.
So we need to understand a little bit about what's really happening out there. I know your guys' mission is to stop this, and can you explain to me a little bit about what the organization and foundation stands for and who you really are?
Well, as you articulated earlier, our vision is a world without breast cancer. So we affect that in many different ways. So first of all, as you said, we have all become very, very aware of breast cancer. There are so few who haven't been touched in some way themselves with a diagnosis, a family member, a friend, an associate. So you could go into a room now and ask does anyone know anyone with breast cancer, or have you been affected? And more than likely, all the hands in the room will go up. So we've done a
Amazing.
pretty good job
Yeah.
about awareness, and we continue to have and support awareness in our community here in Hawaii as the Hawaii affiliate of Susan G Komen, through educational outreach, reaching the community in ways in which they can get the information. One way in which we've done that is we are a multicultural, multi-ethnic community here in Hawaii. So we have taken steps to translate our breast health information into many different languages that are specific to our communities here. And that way, those who may have hesitancy in getting the information when it's presented just in what might be their second language, really get it when it's in their own, and delivered in the spaces and places in which they get it. And that might be to 5 people in a church basement somewhere or at someone's home. So that's one way in which we continue to support awareness, and being lucky to be asked to be on programs such as yours and to share the information.
Well, I know that I know you
Yep.
guys are doing
Go
a
ahead.
lot. I know you guys are doing a lot out there to get the education, and it's I'm sure it's endless. You know, you're trying to do different things, and I know you guys are also, just to cut to the chase. That's something that's currently going to be happening, is that you're going to have a race pretty soon for to help the foundation help more people. Can you tell me a little bit about the upcoming race that you guys are putting on this, I think, in 2 weeks?
Sure, absolutely. So the Susan G Komen Race for the Cure is one of the signature fundraising and community outreach opportunities that Komen does around the country and around the world among our constituents. And last year we celebrated Komen Hawaii's 25th anniversary of a Race for the Cure, which usually happens in October, usually the second week in October in Kapiolani Park. And we have thousands of people who come out, people who are survivors of breast cancer, are currently living with breast cancer, all the people who support and love them in their journey. This year, because we have been visited with a community health crisis through the pandemic of COVID-19, we are having a virtual event since we can't gather in the group like we usually do.
So how does that
October
work out?
11th,
Okay.
October 11th, we will have an opening ceremony like we normally have, where we'll have a Zumba warm-up. It will be a Zoom event that we will be broadcasting out through our Facebook and Instagram pages.
Okay.
When it first happens at 9 a.m. Live, and then it will be recorded so that it will be playing throughout the day. Our virtual race is working in a way that we are urging people to race or walk where you are. So if you take a daily walk with a friend or by yourself, that's your race. We have a wonderful app that one can go to their app store and get, the Susan G Komen app, which will have a way for you to track your race, take selfies or videos and send them back to us, and we can share with the general community as a whole. There is no registration fee this year for the race, but what the race does, and it always stands for an opportunity for us to get the community together to, share, talk story, laugh, cry, but it's so much more than that. It really supports our ability to be able to continue to ensure that the services that we bring to the community, and right now, even more important than ever, as people are being very, very strapped at the level of finances as a result of the pandemic, So the bottom line end game for the race, if you will, is for us to raise funds in order to support those programs and to support the research
Yeah, that's
that
important.
will discover new treatments and
Yes.
ultimately the cures.
And if they want to still help with any type of financials, I mean, for this, I mean, they can still go to the
Hmm.
website and donate like they
Absolutely.
normally. No, okay, great. Because I know this is
Go to
important.
KomenHawaii.org.
Yes. Say that again.
KomenHawaii.org.
Perfect. Sometimes we have to say it more than once.
Oh, I'm sure. Or they can always call our office here, which is 754-6659 for more assistance. But if you go to the website, you'll be able to register right there. Or as I said, you could upload that app if you like to utilize that device for reaching out.
Okay.
Or if you need some additional assistance,
Cool.
just call the office and we can help you.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna give you a 15-second break because I'm gonna do a really quick commercial. It's gonna be a little announcement, and then when we come back, I want to dive right into some of the things that is happening with the Susan G Komen Foundation and how you guys are really facilitating aid to the patients and to the people who just got diagnosed and how you are supporting them. So when we come back, I would like to get into that. Okay?
Wonderful.
Hang tight. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back.
You don't need to be a member of a gym to get your health and fitness back on track. Be Fit for You with a Be Fit for Health online personal training and nutrition program. With 30 years of personal training experience, Biyanka will help you better yourself and be fit for health. For more information or to schedule a free wellness consultation, visit BeFit4Health.com for more.
Awesome. We are back. We are back with Rolanda Morgan with the Susan G Komen Foundation. She is the higher up there, helping a lot of people with the awareness of Breast Cancer Month. And she's going to give us a really good education today, folks. And just stay tuned because, Rolanda, it's not just for women, too. There is a small percentage of men that actually have been diagnosed with breast cancer, correct?
Oh, yes. Small percentage, but men do get breast cancer as well. And we have several of men who in our communities here in Hawaii who come and volunteer for us. And while you mentioned I'm a part of the organization here, which is responsible for the state, and we have a wonderful volunteer board of directors, we have hundreds of volunteers in the community who come and help to make our outreach to the community possible. So a big shout out to all those who
that's
come and
nice.
support us every year.
So tell me a little bit about what are the first steps. Let's say I got, God forbid, got diagnosed with breast cancer and I reached out to the foundation. What exactly will I be experiencing being a part of the organization as a patient?
Well, of course, the first thing you're going to do is reach out to your medical professionals. And what we can assist with in our patient touches, because we are not a medical organization, and we are there to support and offer support to patients in several ways. The one we are really focused on right now, because it is really helping some people at a time when it's important that it be here, is our treatment assistance program. This is a fairly new program for Komen in that it provides us the ability to grant financial assistance directly to patients currently in treatment. So you have to be currently in treatment, and that those funds, and it's not a lot of money, but it can help with some of those treatment-related expenses that aren't necessarily covered by one's insurance. Things like getting to and from your treatment, anti-nausea medication, child care or elder care if you're responsible for your parent and all of a sudden you get a breast cancer diagnosis and you have to be going to treatments, lymphedema care, and oral hormonal therapy. And also, we've just expanded the program because of the need that exists now to include things like groceries and utility payments. So it's those things that a person who is facing a breast cancer treatment is worried enough about, first of all, focusing their energy on the healing process, and then all that they will have to be prepared for, both in an emotional and ultimately a financial level for their treatment. So this will take some of the worry of these small things that can become really burdensome to someone in treatment.
Oh yeah,
So
because
that
you're
Komen
stressing out.
treatment
It's like,
assistance program.
right.
Yeah, you're stressing out. You're stressing out.
And you're not healing when you're stressing out. You're worrying too much about the other stuff in your family and how they're going to survive, and then you start feeling guilty because you have something that is taken away from your family foundation, and then things just get so emotionally wrecked. I think you guys are doing a really good service by being able to do something to help in some way. That's a big deal.
Oh, that's terrific. Yeah, I mean, no one should have to make a choice between whether or not they pay a bill and getting the treatment they need for breast cancer. So we're thrilled to be able to assist the community in that way with putting money right into the patient's hands. And we have a Komen breast cancer care helpline that one can call, and it offers a lot of different kinds of support. There are because, as you said, there's psychosocial support that is also required during that time. You're making a lot of difficult decisions, and you don't want to be able to take that energy off of those kinds of things and really put them towards the healing process. I believe in that from my own experience. So there are oncology social workers who answer the call at the other end that can help guide patients through the process. And we also, on another level that's not direct to the patient, but we advocate for breast cancer patients and their needs among local and national policymakers. So we want to make sure that any legislation that comes before our local and national policymakers is supported and pushed through so that we can get those programs that are on a national level that will assist people.
Like what
we're
kind
going
of
to have
policies?
some challenge, like policies for instance, someone who has metastatic breast cancer, and we are putting a great emphasis on because we are focusing on research a lot and using our funds as an organization to really support all of the research that's being done to find new treatments and cures. Many of them are directed at our metastatic breast cancer community. Now, metastatic breast cancer is one gets a diagnosis at stage 4.
Okay.
That means that the cancer that develops in the breast has moved outside the breast and moved to other areas of the body. There is no cure for that person. That person is going to be living with breast cancer. And we want to be able to make sure that insurance companies cover them in all that they need in terms of treatment. So if there is legislation now, for instance, to make sure that on the imaging side, where you go in and get a normal mammogram,
right.
And usually if it's everything's good, you're fine. They tell you to come back next year, but suppose you need to come back and have another mammogram, and that becomes a diagnostic mammogram. So not a screening. The first one is a screening, and then you need a diagnostic, meaning we need to find out exactly what's going on. insurance companies will cover that. So,
I didn't know that.
So those are the kinds of things that we keep our eye on. We are very lucky here in Hawaii. We have our legislation here led by a very, very strong group of women who happen to be in our state government. Really is proactive in making sure that any legislation that comes across their desk with regard to guarding our issues around breast cancer and health issues as a whole, and that's what your show is focused on, are supported. So we're lucky here. Not all states are as lucky as we are.
So how hard is it to fight for these policies, though? I mean, are you guys having any type of pushbacks with these policies, or?
No, not really. Not here in Hawaii, as I'm saying specifically. And we were very, very we were very lucky when the Affordable Care Act allowed for free mammography for anyone.
Nice.
We part of what we used to do here in Hawaii was do a lot of granting out to different organizations who provided screening to the community. And when the Affordable Care Act and people came along, and people were actually had their own health insurance with mammography covered, that granting wasn't needed so much anymore. So, I mean, that's the kind of impact we have had on the screening side. We're doing very, very well. Great strides have been made. So the focus is on getting research for treatments and ultimately that cure. I mean, breast cancer is still the most common cancer among women. In the state of Hawaii, it comprises 34% of the cases of cancer.
Wow, really?
In women.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty high.
And cancer being the most common among women, yet the rates of dying from cancer can differ by race and ethnicity. And again, we're in a multi-ethnic culture here, and the number of new breast cancer cases is lower for Asian American and Pacific Islander women than white and African American women. But rates vary among Asian American ethnic groups. For instance, the number of the new cases is higher among the Samoan American and Hawaiian women than Chinese American and Vietnamese American women.
Really?
Breast cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in Asian American women.
So what
also,
do you know what sorry to cut you off. Do you know what the reasonings behind some of these diverse effects? I mean, like, you've got the European women and you've got the African American women. So what is it? Is it diet?
Diet is a factor for some. Yes. Yeah.
So what is bad that would cause your tissue to develop cancerous? Like, what is it that they're eating or not eating? Is there any research behind this?
Well, there is research, and I would not cite that without having anything in front of me.
Okay.
And again, I'm not a clinician or even a researcher. So I'm getting research from those who are in that area.
Right.
From the American Cancer Society. We also maintain a great collaboration and relationship with the Cancer Center. So there is research being done across the country and across the world looking for new treatments and new cures. And some of that research is being done right here in Hawaii. Many people here in the islands don't realize that we have great research being done here. Cancer Center, the Queen's Health Systems, they all have projects that they are working on around breast cancer and clinical trials. That is another area that we are also getting in terms of educating the community. It's sort of a new. To many it is new. You might hear about clinical trial, but not sure what it is. And so that's been a recent push of ours to provide some clarity on what a clinical trial is, because every treatment that we do have for whatever ailment there is, it came out of a clinical trial.
Oh, okay. So they
To take
tested it out and got
to
it
take
proven.
aspirin to take an aspirin for headache, that had to go through that process.
Right.
So that's, I mean, to really bottom line what a clinical trial is, that's what it's about. But we have a clinical trial information helpline as well,
Okay.
where one can find out more about that and where they are available here in Hawaii. And there are clinical trials underway in the area of breast cancer, again, both at the Queen's Health Systems and at the UH Cancer Center.
That's really interesting. Are you aware of anything that's the latest findings as far as treatment goes? I mean, is there any new treatments that are now being administered to women with maybe stage 1, 2, and 3 that is able to help them put into remission?
No, not anything that is putting anyone into remission. No, I'm not aware of anything at that level at this point. There is some great progress being made on at the level of screening at this point in terms of detection. There's a great work again being done right here in Hawaii on imaging, where again, as I was explaining, where one gets a screening mammography, and then if you're in that cycle, some women know, oh well, I'll go and I'll have my screen, and they're going to ask me to come back again and have another mammogram. Well, why not get to the place where we know and we know that the patient doesn't need to go through 2 mammograms.
Yeah, I recently had to go through 2, believe it or not. I just had mine done, and there was that monthly thing that you were talking about. But I went in there, and they saw, and I have a dense tissues. It varies too. And for those of you guys out there to understand, there are some breasts that have very fibristic type tissue, and then they're very dense. So when you go do a mammogram, sometimes they can't see, or ultrasound, they can't see through it. So they'll ask you to come back, which they did. And they were suspicious of one little spot, like tiny little spot. And I'm like, I have to go through this again. I'm like, really? So, it's fine. But at the end of the day is you want to know that you don't have anything so that you don't worry about it later on. But I love the precautions that they're taking. But what I really do wish that we can come up with a technology where you don't have to go through the squishing part of it.
I know. I used to joke, but we have to consider what the alternative is.
I don't even know how guys are doing it.
This machine was developed by a man.
Okay, then he wasn't thinking.
A woman would never have designed a machine to put us through such torture.
Oh my gosh,
like
I'm looking at the lady going, you're killing me here. Like, what's the point of this? Like, no, but I don't even understand how
but you have to do it. You have to do it because, that's how I found my cancer. Going through my regular from the time I turned 40, and that's our recommendation at Komen, that one, without any, of course, one always consults their own physician to look for any recommendations for any situation that might be a family related when you should start to have your mammogram. But we recommend for sure that under normal circumstances you start having one at age 40. And I started when I was 40 religiously every time having my mammogram, and one time went in and there was something there, So,
but our bodies make some things too, though, don't they? Like the cyst. These sometimes are benign.
Our bodies make everything.
Yeah.
But you won't know if you're not having your check.
Yeah.
And we all, our mantra is know your normal. So nobody knows your body better than you.
Right.
So if something is not normal, the thing is you have to react.
Right.
It takes an action.
Right.
You've got the knowledge, and it takes an action. So if it's not normal, go and have it checked out.
Yeah. You should, because it's important.
You should.
Yeah.
You must.
Because if you wait too long and it's too late, then there's nothing really that can be done. It's a matter of catching it sooner than later.
There are things that can be done, but very, very difficult. It will be your chances of being able to say, like I was in June, that I'm celebrating my 10th anniversary of being
congratulations.
cancer free.
Yay.
And even you must follow up. You must follow up. You must follow up. Again, that's why we took we felt it was so important to be able to reach those in our community who may have had a cultural bias against even discussing breast health and feel uncomfortable doing it. It's just not something to do in their culture.
Right.
So if we put it in their language, put some images that look like them, then they get it and they will follow up and they will be more responsible and proactive in their own health. I'm sure you, as a health and wellness professional, support that as well.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
think so.
essentially what is the key to all of it, and that includes breast cancer. So if your listeners call the Susan G Komen Breast Care Helpline,
Mm-hmm.
Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. I'm afraid it's Eastern time, folks. I'm trying to get them to change that
Okay.
for we here in Hawaii.
Right.
And the number is 1-877
Mm-hmm.
465 6636.
Say it again.
Or they can. That's 1-877 465 6636.
Okay.
Or you can email helpline@komen.org. And that number is both for the treatment assistance program. So if someone wants to discuss getting some of that financial aid that we talked about, that would be the route to getting to that. Or if you want to, speak to about any other issues around breast cancer treatment and assistance, that would be the number to call. And for an immediate response, or if you're not remembering these numbers now, always can call our office here on Oahu at 754-6659, and we can assist in getting you to the programs you need to get to.
Yeah, it really makes a big difference. With everything that's going on right now, like you were talking about with COVID, the shutdowns that we've had, people are reaching out to so many different organizations for help for financial, right? I mean, people are already stressed out as it is to pay their bills. I can't even imagine those individuals who are diagnosed with cancer or any type of an ailment, where then on top of that, now they have these medical bills that they have to pay for.
Yep.
They don't know where to go, how to get help, because a lot of these organizations are backed up, right? I mean, I don't know how your foundation organization is doing with facilitating help and how quickly it's being facilitated. But the issue right now that's going on with a lot of people is that they're so backed up with the people that they're reaching out to, they can't get their funds. So how quickly are you guys able to facilitate the funds to these patients?
Well, right now we're doing a 2-week turnaround when people.
Nice.
Yeah, we recently. Right now we're doing okay, but that's where events like our Race for the Cure coming up and with our fundraising come into play. But we have a very committed community, as I've said earlier, to the work that we do. We cannot say enough about the support we get from the community here in Hawaii, across the state. And it's a challenge for us to be able to reach out to everyone. I mean, our office is here in Oahu. We are a small staff, but we are able to have that outreach. And having a virtual event, one good thing about it is people can support and participate no matter where they are. They don't have to be on Oahu and close to Kapiolani Park.
Right.
But we do look forward to hopefully 2021 being able to gather again.
Back to normal, hopefully.
In the park.
Yeah, that'd
Absolutely.
be great. Does your organization also provide listings of medical or places that people can go to? Like if you don't have a doctor and you don't know who to go to, do you guys also provide?
Sure, you can call the sure, you can call the office and we can guide. But we have great facilities here in Hawaii. The Queens Medical Systems, all of the hospitals of HMSA, wonderful facilities here in Hawaii. But just call our office and we can direct people if they don't know where to go for a doctor. And they're great community health centers across the state. Again, Waimanalo Health Center, Waikiki Health Center, Lanai Community Health Center in Lanai, Maui Memorial Medical Foundation, Molokai General Hospital across the state. There are great women's centers, women's health centers, small and large, that can be of assistance to people. I was just speaking yesterday, planning with the Kahuku Medical Center. They're getting ready for their presentation to the community in support of those with breast cancer and breast and being able to share breast health information with the community. So those in that area, look for that happening. I think it's the 18th, but yeah. So this month it'll be full of information around breast health and breast cancer. But your listeners should know that Susan G Komen Hawaii, that is our one focus. You can get great information, of course, from American Cancer Society as well. They focus on all cancers, but ours is a singular focus, and that's breast cancer.
It's just amazing how we can separate our body parts for specific cancers, for specific issues, and the breast cancer being so. It still boggles my mind with men having breast cancer because they don't have the same type of tissue structure that women do, or the hormonal factors that are there. So that's still kind of it gets me really interested because what is the percentage of men in the world that has breast cancer compared to women? Is it like 1%?
I think it's 1 or 2%. Yeah, I think it's 1 or 2% tops. Yeah, it's very, very small. It's very small.
Gosh, and they have the same type of support system that the women do, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And we have information and brochures on men's breast cancer as well. Yes, they do.
And how are their survival rates and their ability to combat it versus women? Is there a difference? Have you heard?
No, there isn't. I mean, it's the same, and it comes from early detection. The later one gets the detection, the harder it is to fight.
But how do men know to? I mean, that's the thing too, right? I mean, as a woman, you have these regulations, right? Like you're a woman, you're 40 years old, you need to go every 2 years and get yourself a mammogram, unless otherwise told by a doctor. But then men don't go to ever get mammogram. So how do they find out?
Knowing they're normal. Again, it sounds so simple.
Yeah, I know.
But it really is the basis. When something's not right on you. I mean, maybe a guy's giving himself a shower and all of a sudden he sees a lump or something. A discharge is coming from his nipple. Men have nipples, so when something's not normal, you must go and check it out. Nothing is more important. Take the time. Listen to your body. Yeah. No one knows it better than you.
I always say that.
And that's how we find.
Yeah.
That's how we find.
I always feel like with people, I always tell my clients as I personal train them for the past 30 years, I'm like, you are your best personal trainer. You know what your body's capable of doing. I see you 2 hours a week. You're with your body all the time. And especially with doctors see you once a month, maybe once every couple months. You got to know your body better than the doctor.
Exactly, and you prepare people. I mean, I have great support for you who do what you do, because if one is prepared their body for the time when something like breast cancer invades their body, they have the strength. They have an edge to assist their body in healing.
Exercise is important.
Prepares you for that. It's so important.
Yeah.
It's so important.
That and nutrition.
Not waiting until something happens. Be
Yeah.
proactive.
You have to
Be
educate
proactive.
yourself. And I think do you guys have a program with your foundation where it's like a course that people can take to educate themselves to be more aware
Sure.
of what's happening with their body as they're going through this process?
Sure. Again, I would first, we have on our website, KomenHawaii.org, some breast health information. We have some things in our office, but also the Komen National website, which is Komen.org, just Komen.org,
Mm-hmm.
is chocked with information.
Nice.
So if you really want to get a lot of information on a lot of different subjects, because we couldn't possibly put all of it on our website, we distill it down and try to be specific only to our community in many ways with what we have there. But the national website has all kinds of information. There's nothing compared to it with regard to information on breast health and breast cancer.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So Komen.org.
Komen.org. That's easy enough to remember, right?
Yeah.
It's better than remembering all these numbers. So we're going to take a really, really quick 15-second break again. And then when we come back, I want to kind of get your final thoughts on, what else we can do to better our health situation with our breasts and to really make sure that we're getting the best possible care we're getting currently so that we're not going to suffer through the final stages of a cancer situation. So don't go anywhere, Rolanda and guest. We'll be right back.
You don't need a gym to get your health and fitness back on track. Be Fit for You with a Be Fit for Health online personal training and nutrition program. With 30 years of personal training experience, Biyanka will help you better yourself and be fit for health. For more information or to schedule a free wellness consultation, visit befit4health.com for more.
Great. And we're back. We've been talking about Breast Cancer Awareness Month with Rolanda Morgan. And we are very lucky to have her here because, she's given us some really good information on what the foundation of the Susan G Komen organization does for women and men a small percentage of men who have breast cancer. And, really understanding what your level of expectations are too when it comes to your health care. I have another question for you, Rolanda, too, is like, how many doctors, I know you talked about hospitals that are affiliated, but how many doctors are maybe helping, volunteering, or helping with the organization per se when it comes to maybe educating or facilitating care that are part of the organization?
Well, again, we don't have doctors that are part of the organization. We have research scholars who consult the organization and feed us information on breast health. We also fund researchers through our fundraising, again, as I said earlier, to find cures. And in most communities where there is a Susan G Komen organization, we have many relationships with many of those in our local medical community who we can call upon and certainly direct anyone to who needs help. But we don't have specifically a medical arm of our organization. Now, what we do is we raise funds, we educate, we work hard through education to make sure people get access to the highest quality care that they can. And
you guys have your goal to hit 2026 that I was reading here to reduce breast cancer deaths by 50%. How close are we to that?
Yeah, by 2026. Well, I don't have a number to give you, so we still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
But that's why we call it a bold goal. And due to early detection and effective treatment, breast cancer mortality in the U.S. has decreased by 39% from 1989 to 2015. So
Wow.
that whole focus on early detection really worked, and more than 3.5 million people are breast cancer survivors today. Despite that progress, more than 42,000 women and men will still die from breast cancer every year in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
That's almost one death every 13 minutes.
Oh my
So
gosh.
um, we're still working on it.
So what happens to those people who don't have insurance to get breast cancer, testing? How do they go about doing it? Is there any type of a
It,
grant that they can go through, or some kind of organization besides yours, or something to the effect of getting them protected? Is there any type of
oh, sure.
policies
I
out
don't. I
there?
don't think there's no one in this country who should feel that they can't get what they need. They should, you know.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot of, like, let's say 30 somethings that are maybe at high risk due to genetics or what have you, but they're not maybe insured because maybe they don't have a job or what have you, and they don't go get tested because they think it's going to cost them a lot of money to get, a mammogram. So just wondering if how we
Well, it
take care of
doesn't
those
cost them
people.
anything. It doesn't cost them anything to get a mammogram. Everyone can get a free mammogram.
Nice.
And we have in this state of Hawaii, we have Quest. I mean, if someone, again, if there's a specific, if someone ever comes across that, feels that every door has been shut,
Yeah.
call our office, and we'll help you open a door, because everyone has the ability to get the treatment that they need.
Well, that's what I wanted to hear you say, not me. I don't want to say it because I'm not the, expert here when it comes to what's out there and what's not out there. Because, this is what people think like, yeah. I mean, this is, they put these restrictions on themselves and they don't know that there is that ability to do so. Again, what you don't know, you don't know. And this show was to
Sure.
educate them to understand that, look, you can go get tested. There are those free clinics too that can help them, the ARC little clinics that
Absolutely.
they can go to and say, "Hey, look, I need to get a mammogram done," and they can get it set up. They can call your organization and get really more specifics because you guys are the experts when it comes to this. Um, I really want people to know that there is a place for them to go.
Well, I hope that we've made that clear. There is a place for you to go.
Yeah.
There are many places for you to go. The help is there. You just need ask, and whatever we can do, and there is a lot we can do to help you get the treatment that you need, and to support um, uh, with some of in a small way, within a financial treatment related costs that for those who are in treatment currently. We have that program going, but certainly to get an initial screening, um, that's we can certainly direct you to the closest place to you too, so
That's
that getting there
perfect.
shouldn't be a challenge.
And also,
So everyone, just know you. I cannot say it enough
I
times.
know.
The things I want to leave you with is know you're normal,
Yep.
know your body.
Yep.
Nobody knows it better than you. If
Right.
something is not right, don't feel that you're being um, alarmist, or it'll just go away. Well, maybe it will, and maybe it
It
won't.
won't. Yeah. Why
Um,
take the chance?
and don't take the chance.
Yeah.
Don't take the
Absolutely.
chance.
And your guys'
And if you
website,
are so Yeah, our website is
ComenHawaii.org.
www.comethawaii.org, and come and join us at the virtual race for the cure.
That sounds
And
exciting.
you can register at that website, and registration is free this year, and help
That's
us
the
raise
best
some
price
funds
ever.
to find some new treatments and the cures for breast
Yes,
cancer. Thank
gosh,
you so much
you
for
know,
having us here today.
you're fantastic. And I want to say thank you so much for what you do here for Hawaii. And I really hope and pray that people heard and they come to you and they get their help. And, I really hope that your organization does well, even though we're going through this pandemic of COVID-19, the shutdowns. I really hope the funds come in because those funds are going to help so many people who are going through such a hard time. And, it's really important that we keep sponsoring and supporting organizations like yours that make such a big difference in so many people's lives. So I do appreciate you and your organization for what you do. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on to the show and talking to everybody.
Thank you. Much mahalos. Aloha.
Aloha to you. So you guys, again, so here we are at the tail end of the show. And I just want to say there's a couple of things that I constantly drive at is nutrition. She mentioned at one point that nutrition could play a factor, and that means eating, whole foods, foods that are, not with pesticide and GMOs, but foods that are clean, they're organic based, that are not going to be fried or greased up with trans fats, things that will cause your body to hold on to and cause issues later on down the road. When you're young, you're immortal. You think you can live forever and everything's going to be good to go. But let me tell you something. When you get a little older, you hit the wall sometimes. And if you have a bad genetics and things come up earlier than later, you got to take care of your body. It's really important to have really good nutrition. And if you don't know what that is, reach out to me. You've heard my commercials throughout the show. I have a background in this for the past 30 years. This is what I know. I know how to exercise for your body, depending on what's going on with you. If you have a condition, if you're diabetic, or if you have musculoskeletal issues like I do, and I didn't have this my whole life, guys. I developed this after the age of 37, 38. And when it hit hard. And I didn't realize what was going on. And then I figured out neurologically I had some issues. So things happen because I think sometimes genetics play a role. Sometimes you do things that might be too strong for your system to handle. And if you're not eating well when you're younger, it does hit you when you get older. So please, please, please reach out to me. Go to my website, BeFit4Health, the number 4 instead of FOR. So BeFit4Health.com. Go ahead and go into the contact page. Let me know that you need my help. I'd be more than happy to talk to you. At least give you some information to send you in the right path, in the right direction. And if it comes to anything else, when it comes to your need to get more information with this the segment that we just did with breast cancer, I will have a YouTube put up by next week, Tuesday, and go to my YouTube page, Be Fit for Health. And it'll be on there. So if you want to re-listen to it again, you might be able to get it through my website as well. I do have a called I believe it's my vlog page, and on there has most of all of my shows that I've had in the past 6 months. Has it been 6 months? And you can listen to it on there as well, my podcast. And so you guys, thank you. I want you guys to know, look, there is support. You have a place to go. You know people now. I've got these contacts for you throughout the past shows. Again, you know how to reach me. I have my Instagram, b.fitforhealth, b.fitforhealth. I have my Facebook, Be Fit for Health. Reach out to me in so many different ways. I can't even tell you. So there's no excuses, right? If you can't get to a gym, there's Zoom. I can help you with that. I can write out a program designed for you that's specific for you for a 12-week program or a 6-week program, depending on your time, where you can work out in the luxury of your own home or the park, which is easy to do. So please, please, please take care of yourselves. This is more important now than ever, with so many health things that are coming up with this COVID-19 and people having to go to their medical doctors and having a hard time seeing them physically because there's regulations in place and everything's zoomed out. You're on your own to some degree, but the information's out there. Go to pubmed.gov, type in your ailment or issue or concerns, and you'll get a publication, a final publication that you can actually compare and see what's really out there and what medications work, what medications don't. But if you can, get it through your nutrition, supplementation, and like I said last time in my last show, essential oils, believe it or not. So good luck to you guys. I'm here for you. I can't say that enough. I look forward to the next show. Please, next Sunday at 10 a.m., every Sunday at 10 a.m. I'll see you guys soon, hopefully. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and aloha.